Mr Depp has denied that. That's it for now. We'll have more at 8.
News Talk Weather.
Thanks to the AA. For great value home insurance, go online to theaa.ie.
Mostly dry this evening with a mix of cloud and bright spells. Later tonight will be humid with mist and fog. And now you're up to date on News Talk.
The Newsround on Off the Ball.
With Gillette, we don't just play the game, we change it. Gillette, made of what matters.
This is News Talk.
All right, you're welcome along Thursday night. Welcome along to Off the Ball. Adrian with you this evening. Lots of good stuff to come for you. Over the course of the next 3 hours, we're going to have John Giles with us. It's always the case, obviously, on a Thursday night. I mentioned just before the news there that John is in a pretty reflective humour tonight, obviously coping with the loss of yet another one of his former teammates in the former Jack Charlton. So broad discussion on that coming your way before 7:30 tonight. And also we will talk to him a little bit about the football, obviously events with Liverpool and Arsenal last night particularly. Pretty interesting. Get his take on whether it's a capitulation by Liverpool that's not of their want or make, and get his thoughts on all that. So that's up coming your way in just a little bit as well. Sneak preview of Andy Lee's brand new podcast series also coming your way in the next half hour thereabouts. And we are going to be bringing you, as I mentioned, full live and exclusive commentary of Crystal Palace against Manchester United in the Premier League from Selhurst Park. Things conspiring slightly against United at the minute in terms of that chase for the Champions League, when it all looks so rosy with about a minute to go against Southampton the other night. So a lot riding on that game tonight. And Stephen Doyle and Brian Kerr are going to bring that your way at about 8:15 this evening. And it's all with thanks to Gillette, of course. We don't just play the game, we change it. Gillette, made of what matters. Also made of what matters, I'm delighted to say, as always, Richie McCormack. Good evening to you.
Adrian, what seldom was wonderful.
And Ronan Mullen, good evening to you.
Adrian, how are things?
How are you getting on, lads? All good?
All good.
Yeah, surviving, yeah.
It does strike me that just as we've come to air here, I sort of was thinking that maybe we'd have a little bit of a chat about the athletic prowess of Team OTB, and you guys are not even aware of it. It turns out it was really the sort of short story of all this. You weren't willing to put your head above the parapet when the ask came calling to do a duathlon for Team OTB. You were conspicuous by your absence, lads.
Yeah, my phone's been acting the Mickey, Adrian. I've been missing a load of calls and just haven't been able to get through to certain people. But it's not just you, so don't feel left out if I haven't been getting back to your calls and texts or understanding what a duathlon is.
I think judging by today's social media outpouring from Shane Hannon, it would be a fool's errand, Adrian, to challenge that man, the athletic supremo that he is. So good luck to all of you. All I can say, it seems he's got it in the bag already.
In the words of Richard Keys, which I think we should make maybe a nightly slot, one might say that he was broadcasting from a glorious backdrop of green grass and fir trees, a la his hero Clive Tilsley. It was good. It was a lot of smack talk. It was martinis in the middle of the day. Seemed to be a bathrobe with no t-shirt, which is an interesting mix. And for people who haven't seen it, do go and check it out. Shane Hannon on Twitter. He was ordering himself a nice gold trophy because he's going to win. He feels, and he's probably right looking at some of his times, he's going to win the duathlon, which we're all taking on tomorrow. There's a bunch of us off to Phoenix Park. We're going to do a 5 kilometre run, 20 kilometre cycle, and 2.5 kilometre run to follow that up. And when you say it like that, it sounds like nothing. Yeah. It sounds like it's going to be.
How did preparation for this one go as compared to your previous? Was it the swim you did with Joe a few months back, Adrian?
Yeah, that was that's nearly a year ago now. Yeah, the swim was good in that like nobody else was either brave enough or stupid enough to take it on. So there was a load of kudos in actually just getting into the water run. To be honest with you, my time was pretty abysmal as it was my swimming, but it was like. It was off to my 750 metre swim, something like that. So the kudos was in actually just doing it, regardless of the outcome. Whereas with this one, like we're all kind of in it together, and there are some people, not Hannon up until today, mind you, who were definitely taking it a bit more serious than everybody else in that they really want to win. There's two clear divides, though, I would say. There's the young bucks, Hannon's included in that, Tommy Rooney's in there, Enda Call, Tom Malone probably just sneaks in there. And then there's the Owl lads, myself and Ger Gilroy and Nathan Murphy, who are, who will battle it out in their own little sort of relegation battle. And I'm absolutely certain, by the way, that I'm going to be bottom of that pile. So that's my smack talk laid down.
I think as with anything,
Your insurance doesn't.
I was just going to say, as with anything, every championship team needs that blend of youth and experience. So we've got that covered. I think we should give a good account of ourselves tomorrow.
I was just going to say, sure, your insurance wouldn't cover the likes of Gilroy and Adrian going in this kind of thing, but, news to me.
Listen, the biggest concern that I have is, so I went out yesterday evening to Phoenix Park and sort of ran the course just to see exactly, to get my bearings and figure out exactly where I was going. And we had a production call about it today where it was decided, obviously, that I would be the lead beacon in terms of like showing the rest the way around the course. So the run is 2.5 kilometres long, and you do clearly 2 loops for the first part of that. But the main difficulty of that is that I'm going to be the back marker. So, hopefully, maybe I can give the lads at the front a call and tell them sort of which way they should go. But no, I'm definitely going to be the back marker of that. It's happening. It's live on OTB AM tomorrow for people who are interested enough to see possibly, cardiac arrest and whatever else you're having yourself. It'll be on OTB AM tomorrow from 7:30. It's all in association with BMW and Triathlon Ireland, who are having a duathlon series over the weekend. People getting involved all around the country. TriathlonIreland.com if you want to go on and check more of that out. And it's also Run and Ride for Pieta, obviously, is the charity aspect here as well. So for a very good cause. And we will effectively be the ceremonial kickoff tomorrow morning. We will be the Bishop of the 1950s throwing the ball up at Croke Park is our role tomorrow. And just as athletic, as I've pointed out.
You're the Diana Ross penalty in Detroit ahead of Germany, Bolivia in 94.
Yeah, the Bishop and Diana Ross. Take your pick of whichever one of those you want. So, if injury strikes Shane Hannon, I think that would be the biggest result really for all of us over the course of the day. But he's a man in peak fitness. He run at unbelievable times. I think he's, I don't know what he's doing up in Monaghan there, but a lot of good stuff, let's say. So we'll see how we go. That's going to be tomorrow morning. Interesting evening of football, Richie, which is already underway.
Yeah, it is indeed. The battle for the top 4 intensifying this evening. There were 2 6:00 starts in the Premier League. The second half is 6 minutes old in both of these. Currently, Leicester 1, Sheffield United 0. We had the triumvirate of David McGoldrick, Enda Stevens and John Egan all starting for the visitors, but they could do little to prevent Iosi Perez giving Leicester the lead inside the first half in that one. Elsewhere, it's goalless at Goodison. Everton taking on Aston Villa. Aston Villa very much needing a win this evening if they're to boost their chances of escaping the drop. Meanwhile, at 8:15, as we know, Manchester United will look to recover from their setback against Southampton when they visit Crystal Palace. It is a game upcoming here live and exclusive on Off the Ball. United lost the reverse fixture at Old Trafford back in August. The manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer believes they have come a long way since then.
Well, we've come a long way in this season. I think we've hurried this process up by quite a distance with what we've done since we started this season. Then again, that result was a freak result. I don't think that would happen again if we play the same game. But you have to respect teams with the quality that they have. Well organized. Roy always sets his team up very, very structured and organized, and he's got individuals who can win games for him.
Suddenly, big pressure on United here, Ronan. I think when you considered, like, with a couple of minutes to go in the Southampton game, it actually looked like their season was about to wrap up nice and early. Champions League football secured. Obviously, they have that Leicester game coming in the final day, but the momentum was all with them. Like, I think if you froze the season at that point, or started the season, maybe a better way to look at it at that point, United actually must be considered to be, in the running for the title here. I mean, their team is in really good shape, and then suddenly everything goes to pot for them. And Chelsea maybe have a little bit of a gap. Leicester obviously ahead now, and suddenly big pressure on Manchester United this evening.
Yeah, and it just kind of it exemplifies to an extent the steep hill they left for themselves really by that poor start to the season, because they were in great form before lockdown, have been the form team out of lockdown, and still they went from 5th place to 5th place. They didn't really make any ground in terms of positions. Granted, they closed the points gap, and Monday was their chance to really drive that home and get 3rd place. And there was talk, and Solskjaer dismissed it out of hand, that there's a mental block with this Manchester United team. The stats would back it up this season that when their rivals drop points and United play after them, they aren't able to capitalise. So it'll be borne out again this evening. And as Richie mentioned, Palace won the reverse fixture, have lots of dangerous players in their team. They're obviously safe, so this is a bit of a shot to nothing. But the one thing Manchester United need to do, and it's been a problem since Ferguson left really, is that every single manager has put together a streak like this where Solskjaer's, I think it's 18 games unbeaten now, and they had a similar run last season. But when they lose, they really lose. Like, they go into a funk, and it happened after the Crystal Palace game at the start of this season. So the Southampton game would have felt like a loss. Are they going to come out tonight feeling sorry for themselves, or are they going to do what they should do and blow Crystal Palace away this evening? So it is a very interesting game. I'm looking forward to it.
You've just like put a bullet there in my theory that United are a bit of a busted flush, which I think is reasonable enough.
I don't know. Like, I think it was kind of laid bare on Monday, the depth of the squad. I would have been one of the people maybe criticising Solskjaer for not rotating his team enough. He obviously played the same starting 11, and with the fixtures coming thick and fast, that seemed like a bit of a strange approach. I know they had form on their side. He probably didn't want to mess with a winning formula, but it was always going to come to a point where the players are going to look a little burnt out, and that was certainly the case. Southampton were bringing the entire game in the last 30 minutes the other night, and he ended up with Fred and Scott McTominay and Fred at left back even because Brandon Williams got injured. So I think if United don't get the game won in the first hour this evening, they could find themselves in a similar situation.
Yeah, we'll all be tuned in. It's 8:15, Richie.
It is indeed, as is Brighton's trip to Southampton. Good news for Leeds fans. They're just a point away from a return to the Premier League. They've beaten Yorkshire rivals Barnsley by 1-0 this evening. It was an own goal, actually, that settled the game in the first half at Ellen Road. Mikael Solskjaer turning the ball into his own net after 28 minutes. So Leeds just needing a point from their final game of the season against Derby County to return to the Premier League. It's been a long, long time away for them. I mean, while Real Madrid could win a first La Liga title in 3 seasons tonight, Zinedine Zidane's side are away to lowly Leganés. GAA President John Horan has praised the determination and tenacity shown by Kieran O'Connor in his fight against cancer. The 2010 All-Ireland Senior Football winner with Cork passed away yesterday at the age of just 41. Horan says the Aghada clubman's memory will live on among his teammates and the players he faced during what Horan has called a distinguished career. His Aghada club have called O'Connor one of their greatest ever clubmen. Some very sad news last night.
Yeah, and tragic news indeed. The championships behind closed doors, last resort, Richie.
Yeah, it seems so. Championships being played behind closed doors. The last result, according to the GAA. The government's postponing of progress to phase 4 of their roadmap to reopening the country halts plans to resume outdoor gatherings. Crowds of more than 200 will not be able to gather until mid-August now at the earliest. But GAA Commercial Director Peter McKenna told RTE today that he hopes stadia can be at 30 to 40% capacity when the championships do eventually come around in October.
I was having a look there just when you mentioned Real Madrid to see, was Gareth Bale, were we going to get entertained by Gareth Bale tonight? And it turns out we are, because he's on the bench.
Best of Gareth Bale.
This all seems headed one direction, Richie, doesn't it? I mean, it's this. He's in an off. I don't know if he's in an off position. He doesn't seem that keen to get himself out of an off position.
Why would you want to give up that kind of money? And that's what Jonathan Barnett, his agent, essentially has put out there for the last 2 years. I mean, you think back to the Champions League final against Liverpool, which is now 2 years ago, when he scored that fantastic goal. It seemed as if he was on the outs then, and he's only ever clung in there for whatever reason. He had to move to China, fall apart, and that's one thing. But I don't think he's going to get the money he's necessarily on now back in the Premier League. He's got an increasing age profile. I mean, if he wants to play a Winston Bogart and just sit on the bench and go back and count his money while he's on the golf course, I think in the modern world he's probably more than able to. There's a certain level of professional pride that you hope would kick in, and that Gareth Bale would want to turn around at some stage and play a significant role in a team's successes, however way that might manifest itself. But it seems an awful waste for pretty much everybody concerned.
Yeah, seems more like Humphrey Bogart at the minute, the antics in the stands. So we'll see what sort of binoculars or whatever else we get tonight. Spicy draw for the opening round in the Camogie.
Yeah, and a pretty good draw we've gotten this evening. The last 2 All-Ireland champions drawn together in phase 1 of this year's championship. Holders Galway and 2018 winners Cork drawn in Group 1. They'll be joined by Offaly and Wexford. First-time senior championship participants Westmeath have Limerick, Waterford and last season's beaten finalists Kilkenny for company in Group 2. And the 3-team Group 3 comprises Tipperary, Clare and Dublin. The top 2 in that group will qualify for the quarterfinals, along with the runners-up in Group 1 and 2. The winners progressing and went on to the semi-finals.
We're all off to the Aviva.
Well, Some of us, maybe, will say. Leinster's Heineken Champions Cup quarter-final with Saracens will be played, as you mentioned, at the Lansdowne Road Stadium. The EPCR confirming today that the match will take place on Saturday, September 19th. It'll have a 3 p.m. kickoff. Ulster's quarter-final away to Toulouse will be played the following day. That one is going to have a rather uncomfortable 12:30 start.
Yeah, it's all very expected, isn't it? I mean, I think that they just have to go with whatever the biggest venues they can possibly get their hands on. It's all pretty predictable, but certainly, I mean, it's good to see it in black and white that as we stand now, obviously short of a phase 2, that everything is headed in that direction. So anyway, a bit of a boost for England. I mean, you could look at it that way.
Yeah, and for Saracens, I guess. England captain Owen Farrell believes exciting times still lie ahead at the beleaguered club. The Ed Half has committed his future to Saracens, who will of course play in the English Championship next season. Farrell has signed what's called a long-term contract with the club. They haven't disclosed the exact details of it, but he's another who has committed his future to a side who are dropping to the second tier of English rugby next season.
It's a bit like when... I was just going to say, it's a bit like when Juventus were relegated and there was a bit of a fire sale, but a couple of lads notably held on. I think it was Buffon and Del Piero probably were the primary ones. So
Trezeguet as well, yeah.
Yeah, so he's sticking by them, and I'd say it's only a matter of time before they're back. And Sarries Leinster is a big game to look forward to as well, because I think for all the talk of trying to manoeuvre the Six Nations back into the calendar, that was a game that everyone was looking forward to. Leinster against Saracens, probably the two best teams in the competition. So whatever way it's going to be played, at least it is going to be played.
One last story, Richie, which if the normal weekday host was in position, it would have been top of the bulletin.
I surely would, and we'd have a lengthy preview for Golf Weekly. But I will tell you that it hasn't been a great start for the Irish involved at the Memorial at Muirfield. Shane Lowry is currently 1 over par through his first 4 holes. Rory McIlroy 1 over also through his first 4 holes. Graham McDowell has parred his first. He's level par. Tiger Woods, who's among that group playing alongside McIlroy today, playing his first tournament since February, is 2 under through his first 4. With the lead there at Muirfield held by Brendan Steele, who went round in 68 today to finish the day on 4 under par, and he is a shot clear of his fellow American Charles Howell III.
Richie, Ronan, thanks a million for that. If we survive tomorrow morning's antics, we shall catch up with you again, hopefully in the next few days. Thanks a million. Take it easy, enjoy the evening.
Stretches.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It's something I'm terrible at. It's great advice. Right, we do have lots coming up for you on the show this evening. As I said, we're going to give you that sneak preview of Andy Lee's new podcast series very shortly. John Giles is on the way, and we've a live commentary of Crystal Palace against Manchester United.
The Newsround on Off the Ball.
With Gillette, we don't just play the game, we change it. Gillette, made of what matters.
If we've done our job right, you should be imagining the rain. But have you ever wondered how that sound is made? Did we pour a watering can over the skin of a drum? Or could it be, yes, if you listen closely, maybe it's bacon sizzling in a pan. Follow your curiosity wherever it might take you with Vodafone's truly unlimited mobile and broadband network. Unlimited calls, text, data applies to Red Unlimited plans. Max speed 10 megabits per second on Red Unlimited SIM only. Unlimited data on all fixed broadband only plans subject to availability. See Vodafone.ie for terms.
Right now, more than ever, it makes sense to get better deals on those business and household utility bills. We can help at wecansaveyoumoney.ie. From gas and electricity to mobile and broadband, even commercial merchant services. We will review your suppliers to get the best rate, and it's a completely free service to our clients. Much like an insurance broker, our fee is picked up by the supplier. Last year, we saved our customers over €9 million. All you have to do is send us a recent bill and we will do all of the work for you. Best of all, you keep 100% of the savings. Find out how at wecansaveyoumoney.ie or call 01 529 2211 to talk to one of our staff and start saving money today.
Harvey Norman is here to help. Our spacious stores have reopened and have great deals across our entire range. With sofas from just €389, beds from below €109, big savings on dining furniture with dining tables from just €179, and support local manufacturing with big savings on all Irish-made mattresses. So if you need it now, you can get it at Harvey Norman. Shop safely in store or online with click and collect and home delivery available. At Harvey Norman, we're here to help.
Take one stunning location by the sea. Add a watermill, 2 windmills, a craft shop and museum tour, a wonderful cafe, a pinch of sunshine, and you have all the ingredients for Skerry's Mills. The perfect family day out. Get there by train, bus or car. Parking is free. Find out more at scarysmills.ie.
With the OnPost Money app, you can open a current account from the comfort of your couch, as well as earn money back into your account when you shop with any of our partners. So far, our customers have earned over €1 million, because when it comes to your money, you deserve more than a bank. Download the OnPost Money app or visit your local post office today. OnPost Money current account. Money back is based on spend with selected money back partners. A monthly maintenance fee applies. See onpost.com. Terms and conditions apply. OnPost is authorised by the Minister for Finance to provide payment services and is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland in the provision of such services.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
34 victories with 2 defeats, 24 wins by way of knockout. Hailing from Limerick, Ireland, introducing Andy
Lee. Andy, you can see me?
I can see you now.
You look real good.
Mickey Rourke, thank you very much for joining us today. I know you've had a tough time. As you said, one of your dogs recently passed away, and I know how much the dogs mean to you.
This dog I had 21 years. I got to go pick up the dog's ashes today.
Your dogs mean a lot to you, don't they?
They mean everything.
Yeah.
You get to a point in your life where you can count all your friends on one hand, and then my dog's on two hands.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a teaser clip for you there, a little bit of a flavour of what's to come. Andy Lee meets, very first episode of which he's going to be in conversation with the world-famous actor Mickey Rourke. That's coming your way, and all in association with the all-new Seat Leon, the brand's first fully connected car, and it'll be coming your way very soon. But it is after 7:30 now on a Thursday night, which means only one thing. It's time for John Giles.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Paddy Power. When you've done your hammer during PE with Joe, relax. The football's back. Gamble responsibly. See dunleary.net.
John, how are you doing? You're there?
I'm here, Adrian, yeah.
Good stuff. Good to chat with you. We obviously had you on only a couple of days back at another sad conversation in so many ways. That marked the passing of an English legend and an Irish icon, I suppose, in so many ways with Jack Charlton. And that conversation is there if people want to go back and have a listen to it. It's a desperately sad time for you, John. I was only thinking about it before we had the conversation that you've had a few mates and a few former colleagues pass away over the last couple of months. It's a very tough time for you. How are you?
I'm okay, Adrian. I'm still here anyway, and I'm terrified of this virus, as most people are. But I think when you get to my age, it makes a big difference.